KKR, I think I've got a big issue, and one of the big issues is Andre Russell.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got a player like that who's such a powerhouse, but he can't run, I just think it's then it's like a negative vibe around the team when, you know, you can't get a player out there to get the quick twos and the quick singles. You basically just, you're going to get hit for sixes, of course, but I just hate it when I look at cricket and there's a player out there that can't get back for twos. I know his body is his body and it's hard for him, but I think that's quite a negative aspect on a team when you've got that kind of player.
There was a few twos there for sure, right? Which he converted into ones.
Yeah. There are a few ones he didn't run.
Yeah, there was, and especially, I mean, you think about it, right? Because you need him on strike more. That one is perhaps doing more damage because you know that Shakib on the other side is not being able to launch, right? He's finished with whatever, 25 ball, 25 odd, something like that at 100 strike rate. So Joy, it's the balance, right? I mean, it just throws everything out of whack.
It throws everything out of whack, and that basically means that what you'll have to win it is by brute force.
Yeah.
So if Russell can manage to hit 4 or 5 sixes and had that 30-run over and bring it back, he went close. I mean, give him credit for that. He went close. He had a 20-run over, a 50-run over, but it was just not enough because the kind of cricket they're playing puts too much pressure on needing to do stuff like this.
Yeah,
that's my problem. It's not going to come off every day. And the other thing I was thinking of was I was looking at the points table and saying immediately, like you going to say Mumbai, you already say that Mumbai will qualify, period. It's going to happen. Now you're saying, these guys look very good. RCB looks very good. Delhi is good enough to qualify. That leaves you really one slot where the other 5 teams are fighting.
Mm-hmm. The problem also, guys, is that when you've got a player like Andrews who's been such a superstar, and you look at him to continue to be that superstar, in the field, you've got to be honest, when the ball's coming near him, you always worry because he's kind of using his feet all the time. He obviously can't get down. I just think it's a very careful and clever one that Owen Morgan's going to have to try and manage, because obviously when he's at his best, he's outstanding. But when you can see him today with the ball in hand and in the field and not taking the twos, because you need him to take the twos because you want him back on strike, it's a very, very difficult one to manage for Owen Morgan and Brendan McCullum.
We'll try to pull up the Kolkata squad as well. I know it sounds absolutely ludicrous that, do they have can they find a replacement for Russell? But I mean, last season it would have sounded equally ludicrous if you said that Sunil Narine will not play, right? But now suddenly you have 3 games and Sunil Narine is not playing. You may have him back, you never know. But I mean, you do, and I know this may sound completely outlandish, but I am a fan of Ben Cutting, right? I've seen he's won the man of the match in an IPL final. That was for Sunrisers. That was a few years back. He hits the ball hard. Yes, nobody can have the kind of finishing ability that Andre Russell has, perhaps, but he's giving you that with the ball. He's giving you that with the fielding. He is. I mean, Michael's not a bad option, right? Not ideal, but not a bad option.
I'm with you. I just think in this modern era of T20 cricket, you need 11 players that are absolutely on it, that can run, that can be agile, that can move around the field. Saying 11, probably at least 9. But when you've got a team like KKR that you can see there's more than Andre Russell in the field that doesn't look like they're electric. It's a difficult one because he's a legend. And as we saw today, when he gets that over and he hits it for 20, you think, how can you leave a player like Andre Russell out of your side? But when you're looking at him in the field, you're looking at his bowling, I just think it's a bad look for the team when you've got a player out there that's really struggling with his body.
And if you can take a match winner or a great like Chris Gale and probably play him only 8 or 10 games, it's all right. If you pay Russell also for just 8-10 games, it's managing workload. We hear that so much these days.
Yeah, and look, remember, this is a pre-auction season. So everything will change at the end of this year. So if this team is not working out, I would take some hard decisions. Ben Cutting is one guy I'd look at. The other guy I'd look at is Tim Seifert, because I really feel as a batsman, Shakib is not cutting it for them right now.
Yeah.
They need somebody who can really whack it. And I was looking at it out, and there's no other international batsman who jumps up and looks at you. So I think the only other batsman out there is Tim Seifert. Tim Seifert can hit it. He can definitely hit the ball.